All right, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome your next fighter to the ring, Niam Mcpherson in the blue corner.
And we are here now for our co-main event of the evening. And I gotta say, I had this pinned as my violent fight of the night right here. We have Jon Henry coming off 2 consecutive knockout finishes, taking on Niam Mcpherson, another very talented fighter. Had some bad luck getting fights at the PFA, so opponents pull out. But he is here, co-main event, looking to establish himself as one of the stars of this promotion.
I just really want to point out, this fight right here is a great bout. Both of these guys have been showing up and showing out here at PFA lately. Both of these guys are on win streaks. Great fighters, great coaches. They've got family in the crowd. They've got support here. This fight right here might just be the fight of the year opportunity here. We have an opportunity here to see something magic.
I like that call a lot, James. I like it.
2-minute rounds.
And despite this not being a title fight, it is so good. They put it in the co-main event ahead of a title fight. If that shows you anything, this is going to be pure action right here.
Pounds fighting out of Dragonsnake,
I'm going to anoint this
in Tempe,
the BMF of PFA.
PFA BMF. I like it.
Niam Mcpherson!
And I got to tell you, Jon Henry was scary with shin guards on. I don't even want to know what those shins feel like without that extra padding on there.
Yeah, man. We've talked to both these guys huge amount leading up to this fight. Both these guys got tremendous amount of respect for each other. Both of these guys are excited about the competition step up. I'm just excited to see this. As a fan, outside of commentating and being here as a fan, this is what I'm waiting for.
This is tremendous. Tremendous action, and I am just itching for it to get underway. Corners leaving the ring, and we are about to be underway for our co-main event of the evening.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. It's amazing. Even with a big guy like Niam in there, Jon Henry still looks massive.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting on how Jon handles the length of Niam.
Absolutely.
And vice versa, because Niam has fought smaller opponents lately. So this is a really good one to see in that first round, how these two fare off.
Jon Henry, movement looking good so far. Niam Mcpherson taking the center of the ring. Great body kick there. You can just see how well Jon Henry understands range, the way he's measuring with that jab, measuring with the kicks, not over-committing to anything before he really gets his offense off.
And, for the viewers out there, we can see the difference in the two technical fighters and facing off with kind of similar attributes.
Absolutely.
Height, weight, stature. It's a great one to see. You're really going to see a technical bout in this one.
Technical yet violent, my favorite kind of fights.
Very.
Yeah, Jon working that jab. Long 1-2s. Good rear 10.
Jon staying very active with the foot, with the feet, moving around. Keeping Niam moving as well. And Naeem's putting the pressure on him, which I kind of assumed coming in that it would be opposite, Jon pushing the pressure. So
although Jon Henry did say in our interview last night, he feels more comfortable when he's on the back foot, interestingly enough. So, massive body kick, brings it up high for a head kick right after.
Niam caught him right before that with a nice leg kick.
I'm going to need some more activity here from Niam, although that's just the end of round 1. Jon Henry was the one pushing the pace there later on in that round, and I think he might have ran away with that after the first one. Good action thus far. And keep an eye. He threw it up about 3 times in that first round. Jon Henry looking for the head kick there. With that reach, those long legs, if that catches him clean, might be an early night here for Niam Mcpherson.
Yeah, and those head kicks, speaking of that going backwards, those are very dangerous on that back foot.
Absolutely.
You know, you got someone thinking that they got an advantage because you're taking those steps back, kind of, you know, a lapse of technicality for a second and get caught.
100%. Yeah, for Niam, I'd like to see him cut off the ring a little bit more as well. You know, he's taking the center, but Henry is able to circle around right now and almost turn McPherson on his, you know, on his pedestal, but he's going to need to cut off those angles and force Jon Henry into a corner so he can really, you know, trap him and get that offense.
And as I mentioned, these fighters both have great camps, so I'm kind of excited to see how Niam right off the bat comes in applying pressure, how he changes in between rounds.
Here's Niam right there, backing Jon. Just missed that hook, but that was a good idea. He tried to catch him circling out, really trying to put that pressure and force him into a bad situation.
Right.
And see, Jon Henry just does such a good job with that jab. Jabbing while moving. It's such a skill that's unappreciated. But when you're jabbing and moving, your opponent has to defend, and they don't know where you are.
And you mentioned earlier about Jon and the power in those kicks. I know you heard the impact Niam just landed with his.
Oh, man, I'm feeling it here from the commentary booth. I'll tell you what.
Bro. Hit a 5 on the Richter scale.
See, McPherson's gone to that straight to the body a couple times, but he hasn't followed up with anything else. I'd like for him to use that to the body, then bring something else upstairs. There we go. There's a nice little level change into a head punch. You know, working the body is good, but you got to use it to set other offense up.
We got some bickering back and forth here in the crowd. Mm-hmm. That's how you know this is an intense matchup. The crowd is getting into it with each other.
Well, again, these are two very well-respected gyms, large fan bases, so you got to think tensions are running a little high.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's great about this fight, too, is no matter the end result, this is the first time we've seen Jon Henry out of the first round. He got 2 pretty quick finishes, and the fact that he's maintaining his pace and looking so good just goes to show how hard he's working and how he knows he's never counting on the finish.
Right.
He's always, I will go the distance if I need to, but I will also put you out with my hands and feet if I have to.
Nice overhand left
Big shot by
Niam. Oh, another one.
Niam starting to sense it a little bit here.
Going back to that comment you made.
Oh, on the bell. On the bell.
Henry rocked Niam a little bit.
I think, you know, it's really tough because you start your emotion with your body. Even if the bell rings before the punch is thrown, you've already started that movement. It's hard to really pull that back. So can't hate on Henry too much for that. He's just trying to get that last shot in before the round ends.
Right. You know, it was really good to see there. We talked about the difference of coming out of what Niam would change in there. And we saw that Niam came out aggressive in that round, right in the get-go. Like we talked about with Jon keeping him at bay, he wasn't kind of able to get the offense that we're normally used to seeing from him off in that first round.
Absolutely. Going into round 3, how do you have this fight scored thus far?
Pretty even. Jon, I'm going to give him the edge on the first round for sure. Second round, I think he edged it out at the later half. So I got a pretty close 2 rounds in Jon's favor.
One of those, it could be 2 rounds for either guy, and I wouldn't be too upset either way.
Neither. And there's another thing like what we've been discussing today is the way that judges score these fights. And, you know, going on your back foot, usually in a Muay Thai fight is not a good thing in a scoring card.
Even if you feel more comfortable with your offense there, the judges don't know that, and they'll see you as, you know, semi-retreating throughout the fight.
Right. So we're going to have to watch if this goes down to the scorecard.
Jon Henry moving forward here, though.
That might be something else the coaches have caught on to, too. It's different when you're not making it to those scorecards.
Absolutely. Let's look for either of these guys to really stamp it here, third round. Keep the judges out of it. Again, I think the big difference maker through these first 2.5 rounds have been Jon Henry's jab. I mean, he just lands that at will. Oh, that was a nasty noise on that kick right there.
Man, we can hear that from here. It's echoing. Niam, when he lands, it hurts.
I mean, look at those legs. Those have got some weight to them if I haven't seen it.
Right.
Jon Henry doing work the 1-2. Good body kick. Oh, that caught the elbow a little bit. That can't feel good. I'll tell you what. Almost even worse than getting a kick checked. It's kicking somebody's elbow while you throw a body kick. That is no fun whatsoever.
We always said that funny bone ain't so funny.
Oh, definitely not.
Nice movement by Jon, staying away. He knows he's ahead in the scorecard. I think he feels that way, and you're kind of seeing it a little bit more, trying to stay out of that range. Niam is applying pressure.
Sensing the pressure. Yep, he's got to move forward now.
Nice
good
head
block
kick
there by Jon Henry.
Ooh, nice uppercut slip. That uppercut was a nice slip in there.
And that 1-2 from Jon Henry is just so quick and accurate. And that is the end of our co-main event. I'm going to be
tremendous amount of respect from these two fighters.
Absolutely. A little more technical than I expected. Obviously saw some great strikes in there, but both men. Oh. Oh. Okay.
That was a good fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have reached a decision. Judge number 1 scored the bout 29-28. Judges 2 and 3 scored the bout 30-27. For your winner, by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Jon Henry.
And Siege MMA caps off their night with another win. Jon Henry getting it done over 3 rounds.